The question is, this is the very last concert you'll ever be able to see.
Yeah, you can only go to one more concert before you die.
But you get to pick four of your favorite bands or four bands that will play at this. But this is the last concert you will ever see.
Good news for you is you get to pick the four bands. Like, I would take anybody up on this offer. If somebody said to me, okay, you can't go to any more concerts for the rest of your life, but this concert is basically going to be just for you, and it's going to have you in mind. You get to shape the lineup of this concert. What are the four bands that you want to go with? It's one you have to think about, because this is the last concert you're going to see. Okay?
I thought
you
about
can't
this.
willy-nilly just throw out four bands, because you might be leaving one off the roster and you'll never get a chance to see them.
You're such a jackass. I'm looking at what you wrote.
Why?
Rainbow Kitten Surprise?
Never seen them. Big fan.
Who the hell are they?
Best band in the world right now.
Okay. Sure. These are bands
They're awesome.
These are all bands I have never seen, but this is my bucket list.
They played the Fremont last year, and I wish I would have seen them.
Metallica. AC/DC.
Monsters of Rock Tour.
Pearl Jam. And George Strait.
Okay. So you followed my template. You went 3 rock and one country.
You've never seen Garth Brooks?
I've never seen Garth Brooks, and you've never seen George Strait. I've seen George Strait, and I will tell you this: don't waste your pick on George Strait.
No. I know
do it.
people say
don't do it. It's
was
so
a boring show,
it
but no, I love his music.
I went into the George Strait concert as a pretty big fan of George Strait, because I like his music, and I wish I would have never gone to the concert. I was so bored.
Do you remember?
People were sleeping in the concert.
Well, they were drunk and passed out.
But they were sleeping still. Nonetheless.
Cowboys get drunk and pass out.
But
they can't handle their booze.
People were sleeping at the George Strait concert.
Listen, do you remember Straight Out of the Box?
It doesn't matter. Like, you can listen to the songs on the CD. Listen to the songs on the CD, and then you'll go away remaining a fan of George Strait.
Listen,
if you go to a George Strait concert, you're not going to be a fan of George Strait.
It was the first box set I ever owned. It was stolen, and I bought it again. And I still love putting it in sometimes.
That's fine.
4 generations of music, practically. But here's the deal. If it sounds like Straight Out of the Box, I'm in.
It doesn't. It sounds like...
Stop. Shut up. You're a liar.
Lullaby. It's just boring. Like, the guy doesn't... okay, I saw him in the 90s, and he didn't move around the stage. You're going to go see him right now as one of your picks in the concert? I'm telling you, don't... Be careful. Be very, very careful. At least I know with Garth Brooks, because I got all the eyewitness accounts from a couple years ago, that the guy still puts on a crazy show. And he's willing to do 2 concerts in one night. I have no idea of any other artist in the world that will play 2 concerts in one night at a fair. At a fair?
He's a blue collar country star,
fair?
rock star.
Talking about a fair? We're talking about a fair.
So Jeff says Rainbow Kitten Surprise, Silver Sun Pickups.
Never seen them. Both. I'm a big fan of both.
Garth
bands.
Brooks and the Black Keys.
Never seen them.
In that order, he said.
And I would love to get the bonus of the Black Keys Modest Mouse tour right now, but I've seen Modest Mouse lots of times.
Well, maybe George Strait opens my show, so we don't play him last. I'll be asleep.
No.
You want him to be the opener?
You don't want him to open. You don't want him to open. I would put everybody to sleep. The Pied Piper.
What do you want to go like? Pearl Jam, AC/DC, George Strait, like as an intermission, and then Metallica.
Have you never seen Pearl Jam?
No, I've always wanted. Actually, I did. I saw him, and I don't remember the show.
Pearl Jam and Bruce Springsteen were outside my top 4. Springsteen, I've never seen, and I would like to see, and I probably maybe would replace Rainbow Kitten Surprise with Springsteen. Now that I think about it, but because you get your money's worth at a Springsteen and a Pearl Jam concert, because they'll play for like 4 hours. So
let's get a call in here. 805-543-3693. This is the last concert you will ever see, but you get to pick the 4 bands that play it. Hi, good morning. What's your name?
Hello?
Yeah, what's your name?
Oh, it's Dan.
Hey, Dan. Go ahead.
Hey, listen, they have to be living members?
It's the bands as they are today.
Yeah, I think they do need to be living members. Because
all right.
That's what you wouldn't even pick 4. There's not even 4 worthy.
He's out.
Of picking.
Hi, good morning. What do you got?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good.
I'd start off with Dwight Yoakam,
Okay.
Okay.
and I know he's country, but he
No,
puts
it's okay.
on one hell of a show.
No,
I've
solid.
seen him like 4 or 5 times. He's awesome every
Yeah,
time.
he's great.
No, he isn't. He's great in concert. And then I think I'd go with some Stone Temple Pilots.
Okay.
And then I think I would probably have to go with Zeppelin next. And then I'd have Jimi Hendrix as the headliner.
Okay, but Jimi Hendrix and Zeppelin can't play because they're dead, or Led Zeppelin's not dead, but
They're not playing.
John Bonham's not around.
And Jimi Hendrix is dead, so.
Well, I could probably put in Pearl Jam in there, like you guys said. He'd be awesome to see. And I think you said Springsteen. Springsteen would be awesome, too.
you
And
get your money's worth out of that.
I would like to see you two also. I think they'd be great, but I
yeah,
can't
that would
afford
be
the
a good one.
ticket.
That would be
All
a
right.
good one. You two would be a good one. I've never seen them because I'm priced out of the market every time they come around for a concert. Because they're like, yeah, we're playing the Rose Bowl. And
I
tickets
would
are going to
add-
cost you $700.
Yeah, I would add U2 and Coldplay to my list. Both amazing bands in concert. Well, you don't have to go with me. Hi, what's your name? Hello, are you there? All right. Hi, good morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, can I give you my 4?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'd go with, if I can go back in time, but the Beatles, Rolling Stones, The Cure,
Oh, interesting pick.
and Def Leppard to close it out.
Cure would be interesting.
Thanks for the call.
I was a big fan growing up. I don't know if I'd want to see him today, though. I don't want to see him like in 1989 as opposed to today. Cure.
Hi, go ahead. What are your 4?
Clapton, The Stones, Cream, Bad Company.
Okay.
Bad Company, huh?
Till the day you die.
I like the list. Bad Company's okay. 805-543-3693.
Only if they play Good Love and Got Bad.
Got a couple more here. Hi, go ahead. What are your 4?
Hey, yeah, I got it. I can't wait to see Paul McCartney. That's my number 1.
Okay. He's the
And,
headliner.
of course, Robert Plant. And I wanted to see him when he played in San Francisco last year, and I missed that show. And so I got to see Robert Plant. That's number 2.
Okay.
And I want to see Tool. James Maynard Keenan is an amazing performer,
He is. Seen him?
which I have not had the chance to see. And my last pick would be the Nirvana reunion.
Nirvana reunion, would they open the show? I guess they would open the show.
With no Kurt Cobain?
Who would take place with Kurt Cobain?
I have no idea. No idea. 805-543-3693. Last one. Go ahead. What are your 4?
All right, man, I'm back. That's
All right.
Zeppelin,
No.
Jay Giles Band.
No. Okay. Bye.
What, you only get one shot at it?
Zeppelin
Once you-
is. You
once you
can't
end-
have Zeppelin. They're not around anymore. This isn't like you're making it up
Well,
and this is.
that's not true,
Tinkerbell
because
comes
there-
down and sprinkles fairy
There's
dust
been
on you.
talks. There's been talks, and Robert Plant's the one that's the one
But,
not,
it's
not
not
allowing it.
happening right now. It has to. This has to be something that is feasible.
Jason Bonham would sit in for Dad on the kit, and they would go out on tour and sing songs. Everybody's on board except for the guy that sings the songs.
This is on Facebook. Yeah, STP is dead. I mean, well, Scott Weiland's dead, but the STP is still a band, and they have a new lead singer. So, Mary, that would work. I was hoping to hear a better list. Cody Canada and The Departed?
They play here every other weekend.
God, what the hell? Blake Shelton's coming back to the fair.
Every other weekend.
Oh, here we go. Holly says
Every
Foo-
other year, I
Foo
should say.
Fighters on my list.
Yeah, I've seen them. So that's the only reason why they didn't make the list is because I've seen them.
Tool, great show. Linkin Park. I don't know how they're going to do it now. I don't know. Who Chester's gone.
That's a tall order.
Tenacious D. I can't stand Jack Black. I don't think he's funny.
I hear that. I hear,
and
that-
I don't get it.
I hear nothing but good things about the Tenacious D shows, though. Like everybody loves them.
All right, you can weigh in on Facebook. We're on Twitter and we're on Instagram. Send us pictures. I don't know how that thing works. At Jeff and Jeremy, though, to find us on all three of them.
Tag us and we might see him.
Jeff and Jeremy.
So we got a guy. I'm telling you, take Christy's advice, all right? You start getting mean and short with people, and people get upset. Somebody's on the line, they're upset with you.
Hey, man, how come you didn't set the rules? You hung up on me because of the old bands. You're letting other guys do that, man. What's the matter, brother? Come on.
We told you last time that you were on that this has to be a show that you can actually see. You can't see that show.
I know, but you had right after that. You had another guy talking about another band that wasn't around. But
Who?
come on, brother. Next
Who?
time you throw your couch out in the front, I'm going to put it back in your yard. Bye.
Quit being so damn sensitive. Dude, Jeremy, I heard what you said. Why'd you hang up on me?
Not cool, dude.
Why'd you hang up on... Listen, dude, I'm not hanging up on you. I'm moving on. This is a live radio show with multiple phone lines and multiple people that are trying to get on the air. So I just move on. It's like, I realize you live in a small town and this isn't a big area and there's not a lot of talk radio here. This is probably the closest thing to it. But that's what happens. You make your comments and then you get hung up on and you go listen to the radio and you hear the response. That's how radio works. Let me give you a little Radio 101, hashtag Radio 101. I'm not hanging up on you. I'm just moving on. Doesn't mean I don't like you. Doesn't mean I judged you for what you said. Quit being so sensitive. Everyone.
Do you have to
Calm down.
You have to scream at people?
It's annoying. I've never lived with so many grown-ups that are so sensitive.
I think.
Listen, we don't have time to sit there and talk all day. We got to move on. There's other people that want like something to say.
I think when you hang up on somebody and then berate them for not being a grown-up, that's what kind of makes them mad.
I'm berating you now because you're complaining. Okay, you grew up in Las Vegas. Well, you haven't figured it out, dude. That's my point. That's my point. You haven't figured it out.
Maybe people are friendlier in Las Vegas.
And listen, Bill, the schmuck, I'm not just picking on you. I'm just letting everybody know. That's how radio works, all right? You make your comments, we hang up, and we go to the next caller, all right?
So
we don't put you on hold and come back and say, oh, thank you.
This would be a good time to remind you about the 805 beer text line where the texts are properly chill. Okay? If you text us in your comments instead of calling up, you're not going to run the risk of getting hung up on by Jeremy and get your feelings hurt. So, hashtag 805 beer text line. 805-543-3693.
Hi, good morning. What did you want to say?
Hey, brother, you got to calm down.
Okay, moving on.
What did you hang up on him for? Jeff can hang up on people, too. Jeff, don't hang up on people. Let him at least finish what he's saying. I always let everybody
Good morning.
finish what they're saying.
Let's talk radio, damn it.
Well, I'm just saying, this is how radio works. You call in, you make your comment, and you move on. Go ahead, you're on
What's
the
your
air.
comment?
Hello, if I had four bands I would want to hear in the last show,
Yes.
it would have to be, what?
What are your four bands, sir?
Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin.
They're all dead people. I love it.
That doesn't make me mad. I don't care.
Yeah, I did. It made you mad when it was Led Zeppelin.
No, I'm just saying.
I told you it couldn't be Led Zeppelin,
They're not dead. They're just not playing.
I got to add a third.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying the thing that you wrote the question and you said the bands have to be able to perform.
Yes.
And if they're not touring, they're not performing, then there you go.
We don't have a time machine when we ask the question. Now, I'm thinking about possibly adding a third option to the SurfNet Communications poll question, which is worse. Mosquito bites, bee stings, or getting hung up on by Jeremy. Right now, just mosquito bites and bee stings are split 50-50.
Oh, okay.
We had this discussion yesterday on the program, and we both said that we'd rather get a bee sting than a mosquito bite, only because the mosquito bites linger for days, weeks, sometimes. And
Justin writes in. He says, "Just a bunch of whiny bitches here on the Central Coast." That's what Justin wrote in. He understands what I'm saying.
Whoa,
sensitivity.
Justin, 805 beer text line is properly chill, bro.
Let's take another live call. These are live calls. You can say anything you want as long as it's FCC and we won't dump you. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Pantera, Metallica, and Overkill.
Okay.
Thank you. Got him in there. Got him in there. You can also follow us on Facebook. It's at Jeff and Jeremy. On Twitter and on Facebook, and you can tell us the last concert you ever get to go to. This is the last concert.
All right.
But you get to pick which bands play. What 4 bands are you going to go with?
Now, Nail Shop Freak writes in. She said, I would agree that you're kind of rude to the callers, primarily the reason why I hardly ever call in.
See, there you go. 805 beer text line. Properly chilled, girl.
Maybe you shouldn't call in then. Maybe your skin isn't thick enough to call in. Heidi says people don't listen to the rules before they call.
Let me
Thank
tell
you,
you
Heidi.
this, as
You're
being
right, they don't.
A little behind the scenes, there's only one person that Jeremy likes to have long conversations with on the phone, and that's his parents. Outside of that, he does not have time for you, and most of the time won't even answer the phone when you call. Okay? So this 4 hours for him is hell when we give you the 805-543-3693.
Why do you make up so many lies?
Because I know. I call you all the time. You never answer the phone.
Pro Weed Smoker says, best morning show around. Thank you. He's enjoying this conversation. I just have to hashtag get real with you, folks. All right? I'm not being rude. I hold nothing against you. I'm just moving on because, we can't sit here and talk about this all day. But now we're talking about it.
And I could sit.
Esther writes in, you want to hear? She says, dude, seriously, Jeff isn't even as rude as you can be. And I'm usually telling my sister she's the sensitive one.
Can I tell you something, Jeremy?
Maybe you should take over, and I won't do the phones anymore.
I think what you do
is
do
the phones.
You get out all the frustrations that you work up in the conversations that you have with your stepfather, because I've heard those conversations, and they're the most painful.
Why are you making this personal?
Because they're the most painful conversations I've ever heard.
You've not heard those conversations.
Like, no, yeah, I have. You're like, hey, how's it going? He's like, pretty good. And
he's retired. He's retired. He's bored. He's bored.
Silence. And you're like, how's mom doing? He's like, she's good. And I'm like, dude. I'm like, no wonder you have no patience for the callers, because you can't be mean to your stepdad. But I would be very frustrated with that conversation.
I'm telling you.
What are you doing
now.
today? Oh, I just got done reading.
It's
the
not
paper.
personal. I'm just moving on. I'm moving on. A lot of times it's sarcastic. I have a pretty dry sense of humor, and so didn't mean to offend anybody. I've been apologizing since I moved here 13 years ago. And you will agree, when we moved here, we were like, I've never met more sensitive people in my life.
Agreed.
But maybe because where we grew up in the Northwest, it rains all the time, and people just
are angry by inherent nature.
All right.
But I will say this, Jeremy. It comes across as a little small manish.
You know what? Anything you say, I don't take
little
serious.
guyish.
Because
it comes across
you're full of insults. That's all you do. That's all you do.
It comes across as a little,
and
like 5'7" 3/4. That's all I'm saying. It comes across.
There's a lot of people that are showing their support. Thank you. I'm glad you get it. All right. I can't get to all of you right now because we have to go to a break so we can come back and give away some tickets to Glam Cobra.
It's a support group. People who like to hang up the phone on people.
Yeah, we're starting an online support group. So thank you for all.
Everybody's got a support.
It's at 9:55. Jeff, Jeremy, and now we say good morning to Seth. Hey, buddy.
Hey. Can we guess Seth's 4 bands before we get to know the show?
Well, you can.
It can't be dead, obviously. Huh?
Right. So I'm going to go with Steely Dan. Who were we just talking about the other day?
You would think he had an idea.
You would think so.
I mean, because he brought it up, right?
There's no time.
No, it was a band. It was a band that you said that I was surprised that you liked.
The Yardbirds.
I think you were surprised that I liked the band as well.
Are they still around?
Who were we talking about the other day?
Huey Lewis in the News. Not touring anymore.
I remember the moment. I don't remember about that.
There's a more modern band.
Wasn't XTC?
No.
Oh, Oasis?
No.
Oasis.
Ideas now. This is how I fish for ideas. I'm going to say
you're so
Steely Dan, Oasis.
Yeah. No, there was somebody.
So clever, man. I tell you.
We won't waste anybody's time, right?
No. I want to go.
Well, think about it.
Mott the Hoople.
I'm going to check with Charles here.
Because you're the only
Ian
person
Hunter's out there.
I've ever heard talk about Mott the Hoople at all.
Charles, how do you get rid of bugs with music? What music is it?
I'm going to guess by listening to dubstep.
That is correct. That is correct, Charles.
No, you're right. You're right. I had my button on the wrong because you said yes, which is one of my pet peeves. Now, that's how you get me going. Hold on, Charles. We're going to give you some tickets to go to Glam
Drop the knowledge.
Cobra. Glam Cobra at the Siren Saturday night, all right?
Nice, thanks.
Do you have 4 bands that you would like to see?
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's a toss-up. I like a lot of different music, so.
That's cool, man. Don't worry about it. Hold on.
Now, these bands you've never seen before?
Well, just for...
Okay, I didn't know what the parameters
So
were
the
here.
parameter is this is the last concert you will ever see. So maybe it's just your favorite 4 bands that you've seen a bunch.
Or you'll die the next day.
Yeah, like
Okay,
mine
gotcha.
was bands I haven't seen. I'd love to see Metallica, AC/DC, George Strait, and I said Pearl Jam. I think I would like to change that to Foo Fighters.
Okay.
Might as well. No, AC/DC is one I haven't seen that I should have. I've seen McCartney a couple times. Seen The Who.
I know who it was. Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Was it Toad?
We're talking
Toad
about Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Yeah.
Are you Toad the Wet Sprocket man?
Well, we both.
Dulcinea.
Yeah,
Best album ever made.
Everybody was issued that in the early '90s, I think. So
Yeah.
we
What?
were part of that.
I just that
Well,
one
and they're from
throws me
Santa
for a
Barbara,
loop.
so they're almost like a local band.
Yeah, they're kind of local.
I grew up listening to Toad the Wet Sprocket, like in the 2000s.
Yeah, but you only listened to the
late
one song that
90s?
was on the radio. You didn't
No,
listen to
I had the album,
tracks.
you loser.
No.
All I want
What
is a
album?
great love
It was.
song.
It was.
Did you
it
have
was.
Fear?
It was. It was John Cicada and Toad the Wet Sprocket. They came
John
out at the same
Cicada.
time.
Oh God!
And you got to
With
listen to
Michael
the
Bolton.
Spanish version of his album too, because it's beautiful.
Of who?
John Cicada, formerly of Miami Sound
I
Machine,
would
right?
love it if Toad the Wet Sprocket came out with a Spanish version of a re-release of Dulcinea.
Well, it's already
You know, whenever I am lucky
All
enough.
bands should do that. Actually,
go-
they should take their best, most landmark albums.
Yeah, like
and
the
do a
Eagles.
yes.
Eagles would be Hotel California. Yes.
No, when I was in Mexico last, they had the mariachi band come by the table,
Yeah.
and you give
They
them
would play
$5
whatever,
or something, and they'll say, "Hey, it was my birthday," so they played a song for me. Like, what do you want to hear? I want to hear Hotel
Feliz
California.
cumpleaños.
I want to hear Hotel California, but I want to hear it in Spanish, and it's a beautiful thing.
I think
And
that
I
there
think they
needs
get
to
that
be-
all the time.
there-
They're like, gringo.
There needs to be. I know there's a number of bluegrass cover bands that will cover like popular albums.
Hayseed Dixie is probably the best.
Hayseed Dixie is one of them, and they do bluegrass tributes to bands that are rock and roll.
They did the whole Wall album.
We need mariachi bands to do the same thing.
Oh, I'm sure it happens. It's just kind of like Trio International, but
Yes.
with mariachi. Yeah,
But
oh,
in
I'm sure it's
Spanish versions, though.
What happened to
Sure,
Trio
somewhere.
International?
They're around.
Are they?
Still playing, yeah.
Any? Well, you'd
They
think
were-
any beer fest, but they weren't.
I saw them at the Lido. They were doing this 3 martini lunch thing for a while, and then, but I haven't heard Trio International.
Probably hung up on them.
That's probably it.
Not true.
Don't get hung up on hanging up.
Not true.
I'm 5'6"3/4.
Soaking wet with a hat on.
Soaking wet would actually jog you down, so
You'd
that
think,
would make
yeah.
sense that you're
Fluff your
maybe
hair after a
little
blow
bit
drying.
taller.
How you doing?
I'm just ready to hand it off.
I guess. Yeah, we got another keyword coming up.
Yeah,
Is
we
it 10
do.
o'clock yet?
Yeah, trust me,
Okay.
I'm ready to go. See you tomorrow.
93.3 KZOZ rocks the 80.